Hello friends and welcome to my channel if you're new, or welcome back if you're back. If you are new, hi, my name is Rabbit and my pronouns are they, them, and either way, thank you so much for clicking on my video today and happy spooky season. I love this time of year so much. There's so much specialness in the air, from like the crispness and the falling leaves, the beautiful sunsets, the warm sunny days that go into these like wonderful brisk evenings, and all the candy and costumes. Oh, it's just so magical and I love it so much. So, one of the things that I did last year for Halloween-y time was do a lot of like lookbooks based on like Buffy and different horror musicals I liked and the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And one that I wanted to do, but didn't get the time to, was a Labyrinth-inspired lookbook. You guys, this is one of my favorite freaking movies of all time. It's so iconic. There's so much like imagination and whimsy and beautiful costumes and beautiful visual details, and I've seen it so many times, and I feel like every time I can just like pick out more and more incredible beautiful little things to like just be like, wow, awestruck over. So in honor of that, I wanted to do a lookbook inspired by the characters of the Labyrinth. So it's not really like a cosplay per se. It's not gonna be like, this is exactly what the character looked like. It's more like, this is my interpretation with like the stuff that I already have in my closet of what I would put together for this character. So if that sounds like of interest to you, please keep on watching. I had so much fun putting it together, and I really hope you have fun watching it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so Sarah, Jennifer Connelly's character, is so gorgeous and incredible in the entire movie, and every single look of hers is absolutely stunning. But one of my favorites, one that I feel is really underrated, is the one that she's wearing at the beginning, and I think that it gets looked over because she's wearing it for such a short period of time, and compared to some of the other looks, it's just like a little more plain. But I freaking love kind of medieval and Renaissance inspired clothing. I love how beautiful she looks in it. I don't have a white dress myself, so I decided to do this in like a black kind of gothy version. So let me go ahead and walk you through the look. I've done the brown wig and put it in like a little bun and tried to like tuck it behind my ears so you can see like the delicate little earrings. And I also am wearing this flower crown. I have a tutorial on my channel about how to make flower crowns, and this one I had made for a cherry blossom cosplay, but I added these two ribbons on either side because Sarah has two ribbons on her flower crown, and I just feel like it's so pretty. I don't know, it's just like adds like a little bit of extra like ethereal loveliness, and I adore it. For makeup, I've done like dark brows and brown eyeshadow, a little bit of winged eyeliner, blush and contour, and pink lipstick that's like a little darker on the top than the bottom. She has pretty neutral makeup, so I wanted to keep it like fresh and ethereal. Then I know that she doesn't really wear any necklaces, but I wanted to incorporate some like crystal ball jewelry to kind of foreshadow the stuff that was gonna happen. And this is like a little crystal ball being held by a raven claw. Gage's mom gave it to me, and I just added it to a chain recently for this specific costume. I have a book as a prop. I don't have a copy of The Labyrinth, but I figured this old journal of mine would be suitable. And then this black velvet dress, in order to make it look a little bit more like hers, I added two safety pins to kind of pin it down and give it more of a square neckline. I added these black arm warmers to make the sleeves more flowy because hers are just gorgeous. They have these like wonderful details at the shoulder. Incredible, so I decided to add like a little bit of extra bell sleeve. And this belt is just 3 pieces of mint green ribbon that I braided together. And she's wearing jeans under her dress, and I don't have blue jeans, but I wore some black jeans just to stay true to the character and her like, yeah, wearing the most gorgeous dress under just like her basic clothes. I love it so much. And then I'm wearing just some plain black Doc Marten boots that I got forever ago. So yes, this is my look for Sarah at the opening of the movie. I feel so freaking pretty, and I really want to incorporate more of this kind of style of clothing into my everyday wardrobe, so this is really fun. Okay, on to the next look. Okay, so this is my look for Jareth, the Goblin King. Kind of like when he's singing to all the goblins in, you know, the Dance the Magic Dance scene. Yes, this is my look for that. And I feel, obviously the hair is wrong, but other than that, I feel like it's like pretty solid. Like it's giving Jareth, I think. I don't know. It's a little bit like trad goth makeup, I feel like. But I think the problem with it is that my eyebrows are just so thick that like his are like so pointy, and like plus like covering mine up, they're just so thick they're really difficult to cover up. Anyway, let me walk you through the look from head to toe. So I have my blonde wig on. Tried to tease the top a little bit, but it's not that effective, so whatever. For makeup, we've done the very like pointy eyes. I did like a little bit of jowls and like a lot of contour around my cheekbones. I don't know if it's like actually showing up or if it's too bright. I feel like that's a little more visible. You can see some of the shading a little bit better that I attempted to do to give myself like the David Bowie face. We tried our best. It was an attempt. I don't know if it worked. For the outfit itself, Jareth has like this kind of silver, almost like moon-shaped necklace, and it's like hard to tell exactly what it looks like, but I have this one that used to belong to my grandmother, and I just like pinned it up to make it a little bit shorter, and I feel like it gives a similar vibe. Then I've paired this thrifted white shirt with some arm warmers that I DIY'd forever ago because his sleeves are just so incredible and lacy and ragged that I wanted to like add a little extra volume, plus the black gloves because he has some black gloves on. And then I'm wearing this little kind of bat-shaped corset top because he has like a little vest on, so we had to do like a little vest of sorts, so that was the idea there. And then let me talk you through the bottoms. To me, it's not a Jareth cosplay without the bulge, so we obviously had to stuff our pants. So if you're wondering, Rabbit, did you stuff? Yes, obviously. It was a necessity. Then I'm wearing these thrifted kind of pleather pants. I know he's wearing like gray leggings, but I don't really have anything of that sort, so pleather pants it was. And then I went with just like spiky everyday demonias because they're super comfy. And that's my Jareth look. A little bit plain, but I feel like it works, and it like is channeling him, I hope. We're trying our best. Okay, without further ado, on to the next look. Alright, so this is my look for Hoggle. I feel like it's coming off a little piratey, because Cage did call me Captain Jack Sparrow when he saw me just now. But hey, it's fine. Let me walk you through this from head to toe. Okay, so Hoggle has this little like aviator cap on, so I flipped this little devil cap I made on inside out and figured that that would look somewhat similar because his is like dark leather and this one's like dark red, so I was like, you know, close enough. I went with some reddy brown eyeshadow to kind of give that like goblin underground look and just some neutral lipstick. For earrings, I've gone mismatched with one kind of green with gems and this one that's like this interesting metal ball. And basically with Hoggle, my main idea was just like loads of gems and crystals and treasures and like little things that he would collect because that's like a big part of his character. So let me walk you through all that. I have a ring on, I have one cuff, and then this like metal silvery cuff that's kind of like helping keep the shirt sleeves up. I have a little lock necklace, this little stone necklace, this one with an Aquarius symbol, this one that has a wood piece on it, this one that's like long and beaded. I've attached random things to the belt, like this pipe, because I think he has a pipe attached to his little vesty thing, and I've attached like jewelry to it as well to give extra interesting layers and dimensions and stuff. For the shirt, I just have a basic white button-down shirt that I layered a black velvet vest over, and I have a little belt on to help keep everything tucked in. Hoggle has this little pouch on his belt that has all these interesting like beads and leathers and things on it, so I decided to just add a bunch of different brooches and things to this random leather pouch that Cage gave me that he had lying around, and it's my little like treasure pouch belty thing. I've also taken this gray skirt and just tied it in a knot so it gives kind of like a little pants situation. And Hoggle's wearing like white socks under his, I don't have any white socks, but I have white fishnets, so close enough. And then just little black boots that are old Doc Martens. So yeah, that's my look for Hoggle. I feel like it works well enough and I feel like him mostly. Okay, on to the next. So this is the look I have put together for Ludo. And I feel like it's a little bit odd, but it was a little tough because I don't have like a lot of brown in my wardrobe, and when I think of Ludo, I just think of like brown and fur and like lots of volume and horns and big ears, so I tried to do the best with what I had. Let me go ahead and walk you through the look. Starting with the top, I just have my hair kind of pulled back, very messy. I have my bangs out, and then I tied this piece of orange fabric around my head as like kind of a headscarf, but the idea was that like Ludo has big ears that are like so cute and hanging down, and I thought this kind of like imitated that in a way. I don't know. And then I also paired it with these big ol' horns that are just like some foam horns from the Halloween store because he has horns and we needed to, you know, emulate that, I guess. And then for my makeup and stuff, I've done brown eyeshadow, this tiny little nose, and then some dark lipstick. For jewelry, I have this spiky choker, and then because of his like rock power, I wanted to incorporate a lot of like stone jewelry. So I have this one that has all these kind of like crystally seeming things with the teeth, and then this big piece of amber which kind of just feels like a big stone. Then for the outfit itself, I'm wearing this super fuzzy orange sweater because yeah, I just think of him as like this big cuddly cozy beast, and this has like all the fur details which kind of made me think of that. Plus I layered it with this fringy velvet scarf shawl thing to just give extra fur and texture and layer and stuff. For leg and footwear, I decided to go with these black velvet kind of suspender pants that I found at the thrift store, and I've layered under them these gold sparkly tights because they're not brown, but they're like close-ish to that color palette. And then I have these leg warmers that I DIY'd out of an old skirt. They used to be brown, but I dyed them black. They would work so much better if they were still brown, but hey, what can you do? And I've layered them over some big old boots. So yes, quite fun. I enjoy it. The little headpiece kind of reminds me of like some of the little tight medieval hats that have just like the little hood and like the little face sticking out. So I was hoping to channel that a little bit. Don't know if it works, but that was the attempt. So yes, that's my Ludo look. Feel quite cute, quite like a big soft fuzzy lovable beast. So I feel like we're on the right track. Okay, on to the next character. This is my look for the Wiseman sort of character. I think that's what he's called. He's the guy with the bird hat, either way. And I know this doesn't super look like exactly what he's wearing in the movie, but let me walk you through my rationale. So because he's kind of the wise man and he gives out fortunes and all these things, I wanted to go with like a sort of academic direction. So I went with like a lot of tweed, a lot of plaid, and because he has so many layers and all the mismatched stuff, I just wanted to like go heavy on that, go heavy on the jewelry, go heavy on like the academic themes, but also like bird stuff and whatever. Wispy wig because he has like that super wispy hair and like the beard and everything, so we went with that. For headwear, I'm wearing a little devil hat that I sewed and this Plague Doctor mask. The Plague Doctor mask is supposed to kind of reference his little bird friend that he has on his head, and then this is just to kind of like give the shape better since he's kind of like has it wrapped around in a scarf. As mentioned, the hair is supposed to emulate his like very wispy brows and stuff because this is like a super fried wig. For makeup, I went with like a lot of pink around the eyes because he has like a lot of pink in his face and like some brown neutrally lipstick. For jewelry, got a bunch of rings on and a bunch of different necklaces on that have been accumulated from all different places over the years, but I wanted to just go like pile them all on, make it droopy, make it like lots of volumes and baggy and layered and kind of like found object looking a little bit. So I've borrowed Cage's tweed jacket and layered my plaid scarf and his plaid scarf over it. I've also pinned this little pouch onto the jacket with this heron pin, and I have this grayish brown vest that my grandma knitted for me years and years ago when I was a teenager, and it's like perfect and oversized for this kind of thing. I also borrowed one of Cage's flannels because it's like these perfect earthy tones that I figured worked really well for this outfit. And then for leg and footwear, I've gone with these yellow thrifted plaid pants that I feel like are quite academic and professory looking with my little creepers. These I found on Facebook Marketplace ages ago, and I figured they suited the character design. So yes, this is my look for the wise man, bird man guy. Basically just a lot of layers, a lot of textures and volume, and different fun and earthy colors. So on to the next look. Alright, so this is my look for the junk lady. You know, the one who has like the backpack with like all her puppets and stuffed animals and stuff on it and is like trying to get Sarah to like become one as well. Oh my god, that scared me so much as a kid. Okay, so obviously for this, I wanted to go with like super maximalist layers, a little bit in like a grungy direction, purples, grays, that kind of thing. So let me walk you through the look head to toe. I have my like very scruffy gray scarf on. I did grayish eyeshadow, brownie gray lipstick, some heavy contour, and for my earrings I have one spoon that I DIY'd into an earring and one like kind of hoop with some moons and moth and stuff in it. I also have loads of rings on, a couple of bracelets, and a bunch of plastic necklaces just to give like lots of layers, as well as this belt that I DIY'd forever and ever ago that's made out of seashell necklaces and crystals and all sorts of fun stuff. And I'm wearing this necklace, which is super fun. It's made out of all sorts of little found objects. Now let me talk you through the actual outfit itself. I of course have a big backpack on, but that's not enough. I'm also carrying a cross shoulder bag that I've attached this little like lantern-y thing to, and I'm wearing two separate lacy shawls to give me loads and loads of layers, as well as this like kind of vintage lace collar dress that is floor length, but I've layered over top of it this sleeveless kind of dress. Let me show you. So it's like a little bit apron looking, sort of. But yeah, basically the idea was just to have like loads of layers, loads of textures and fabrics and beads and strings and things hanging down, and it's just like super maximalist and super, super fun. For footwear, I'm just wearing these black boots with the giant buckles on them. They're just fun statement boots and I feel like they work. So yes, I know that this is gonna be like a little bit way too much layering for a lot of people. I used to always get a lot of accusations of looking like I dressed like I was on the Disney Channel, and now I feel like layering has made a comeback, and I haven't gotten those comments in a while, but with looks like this I feel like that is definitely coming back. Anyway, I feel like it does really suit the Junk Lady character, even if I maybe like did babushka style scarf where it's like over top. I don't know. Either way, I'm enjoying this. On to the next one. Alright, so this is my look for the Fireys. Basically I wanted to go with like a very 80s kind of trad goth slash slightly aerobics almost, like very like dancey and like leg warmers and like all that stuff, but also like lots of bright colors and like the super intense blush and like and all the really intense eyeshadows and stuff. So this is what I ended up going for this. So let me go ahead and walk you through the look from head to toe. I've done my hair in just pigtails and added these DIY kind of hair fall things. These I made a couple years ago for Halloween, and they're inspired by like Strawberry Switchblade, but I figured they added like a lot of like fun extra texture and like almost feather sort of feel to the look. For the eyes, I've obviously done it inspired by them, where they have like the blue eyes but like with lots of like orange and red like fur and stuff. So I've done streaks to be like a little bit like fur, and I've done the nose like almost going into a beak, where like I've done my nose a little bit orange, and like pointy lips to be like a little bit bird-like, and just did yeah, kind of trad goth bird inspired makeup. I don't know if it works at all or if it just looks really clowny, but we're trying our best. Then for jewelry, I did these bone earrings because they've always been a little spooky with like the whole like take off your head. So did the bone earrings and the spiky collar to kind of like reference like a bit of their dangerousness. And then just a load of necklaces and bangles and plastic and stone jewels and different things to give me all that fun kind of 80s clubbing look. Then this fishnet top was a DIY by me. It originally was like going down the hallway and I cut it into this shorter thing. Plus I DIY'd these little arm warmers that match my leg warmers. So we've got this little like orange knitted situation. I'm wearing this red velvet dress, but I've tucked it into a skirt so it just looks like a shirt. This is also a skirt that I DIY'd, just out of all different old patches and pieces of fabric and old pieces of plaid, other clothes that I had. I also made this belt chain that's orange and felt very like fun and 80s and colorful and etc. The grommet belt feels very 90s, but still like retro enough that it like fit into this kind of look. And then I'm wearing red fishnet stockings to give me some extra color, plus these orange leg warmers that I mentioned that I made, and I've layered them over top of these thrifted Demonia boots that have the red inlay. So yeah, that's my look for one of the Fireys. I was not super sure where to go with this. I knew I wanted to do something like loud and retro and very like dancey and fun and mischievous, so I hope this kind of like fulfilled the brief. I definitely feel like this is inspired by them, even if it doesn't have like proper feathers and like some of the things I maybe would have ideally put into the outfit. But yeah, otherwise, on to the next. One of my most favorite and in my opinion most iconic scenes in the Labyrinth is the ballroom scene where everything is dreamy and covered in pearls and just like so fantastical and mystical and glamorous, and I wanted to do a look for Sarah for that scene. Again, no white dress, so we're just doing like a goth version. We'll justify it that way, you know? Okay, so let me go ahead and talk you through this look head to toe. I'm wearing my brown wig again, and for this I just wanted to pile in as many little hair accessories and like jewelry pieces that I could that I thought might be good for this. So I did like attach a bunch of like random ribbons and strings of pearls and stuff to a bobby pin and like pin those into my hair. I added these little wedding florals to both sides because she has these like gorgeous like kind of twirly, very delicate like wire kind of looking things, but I had these and I was like close enough. I added in a lot of these like pearl brooches and little like star earrings and different like little, you know, hair accessories, like actual ones, plus like this pearl necklace and this little star necklace in there as well. The flowers kind of remind me of horns, which like a lot of the side characters have like sort of very devilish and mischievous looking horns and features like that that are like a little bit demonic, so I really enjoyed that. Then for makeup, I've done just like very soft brown eyeshadow that's like darker at the top than the bottom, soft pink lipstick, loads of highlighter. Is it showing up on camera? I don't know, but I want it to be super sparkly for this. And then for earrings, I have these super dangly stars because hers are just like these gorgeous chandelier earrings, I think they're called. And then this black choker that feels very drippy because she has this very incredible fancy like crystal silver necklace. And then this I think is a piece of like wedding embroidery with like all the little beaded details and stuff. I just safety pinned it to the top of this dress to give like a little bit of the white that her dress has. And then in the scene, Sarah has these sleeves, these like leg of mutton sleeves that are incredible, so 80s, so poofy, so wonderful. I don't have anything close, but I do have these like slightly poofy arm warmers, so I decided to add those to try to emulate like at least a little bit of that vibe. And then I also added this sparkly necklace to kind of drip down and give a little bit of extra shimmer to the outfit because hers is just incredibly beautiful and iridescent and sparkly and just everything. I've also added some rings, very shiny and beautiful, and a big petticoat under this skirt so that we're getting all the proper like ball gown kind of silhouette. For boots, I have these black ones with silver sparkly hearts that feel very shiny and fun for this kind of occasion. And yeah, I feel really pretty. I feel like Sarah has some of the most beautiful costumes in the entire movie, and this scene is just one of my absolute favorites. I know that her dress is much more like wedding dress and white and yes, iridescent and all these things, but I hope you will accept this kind of gothy version. And though it doesn't super look like her, I hope it kind of at least gives a similar vibe. Okay, on to the next. So I wanted to do a look inspired by Jareth's ballroom outfit, and it was kind of hard because I didn't have like a little jacket and stuff, so I mostly focused on just getting like the colors and sparkles and that kind of thing similar. So let me go ahead and walk you through the look. I've done again the blonde wig and then similar makeup as to before, but I added a lot of blue and like shimmery sparkly things as well as like a lot of highlighter on the cheeks. Not sure how well it's showing up on camera, but I promise it's very shiny. For earrings, I have these clip-ons that I found at the thrift store that have like little opals. They feel very elegant. Jareth has this very frilly jabot that he's wearing that I wanted to incorporate something similar. So I have one that I've layered underneath this kind of shoulder piece because he also has like a quite intimidating like collar, very like kind of 70s prom shoulder pad moment. So I want to kind of echo both those things with both like this leather shoulder piece and the white frills coming out. Plus, to emulate his little necklace, I've gone with this blue clock one that's vintage, and because of like all the symbolism with the clocks and stuff in the movie, I thought it would be appropriate. Now, for the outfit itself, I wanted to just go with something super sparkly, so I have this thrifted dress It's like blues and greens and silvers and kind of echoes the colors of his jacket. He's also wearing this kind of like cape thing behind. So I decided to layer a housecoat sort of thing that I dyed gray underneath to give that extra swoopy cape detail in the back, plus some gloves and some rings to give like a little bit of extra elegance. And I added this faux leather corset belt to add a little bit of dimension. For legwear, I've just gone with these black lace tights. Wanted to go with something that felt kind of fancy and elegant. And then the same boots that I wore for Sarah's ballroom look. So yes, this is my Jareth inspired ballroom scene. I know it's like quite different than what he actually wears, but I hope I managed to channel some of the same kind of colors and energies and kind of like glam aesthetic. I don't know. On to the next. All right, so this is my look for Sir Didymus, and I feel like, given that I didn't have exactly anything really close to what he has in his closet, I feel pretty confident and like pretty happy with what I managed to come up with. Let me walk you through it head to toe. So, starting at the top, I have this little dark blue beret that I just whipped up myself the other day. It's just made out of blue felt, and I glued a bunch of yellow feathers together to give myself kind of a plume that I could pin on to be like his. I put on my red wig because my hair is just like a little bit messy, and I wanted to have like this very like medieval, regal knight vibe, and I figured this wig kind of did something for that. Then I was thinking about dogs and how they have like usually black around their eyes, so I ringed my eyes with some kohl eyeliner and then did like red to kind of emulate his coloring, and then like the black top lip, because I feel like sometimes when people do animal makeup they'll do like the black top lip. I don't know if that makes sense. We're trying. Since he's like a brave knight, I wanted to incorporate a lot of like little sword jewelry and sword accessories. So I have these little silver sword earrings and this matching necklace. Then when I was looking at his costume design, he has these like green gloves on with these like hanging down ribbons and these black gauntlet kind of leather things. So I put some cuffs over these green gloves, and I feel like it kind of emulates a similar look. And then in terms of the outfit itself, I wanted to just go with something that gave like kind of medieval vibes with like a little bit of animalistic details. So I've gone with this purple velvet high-necked dress. I added in this piece of fur that is just from the dollar store. Just came on a ribbon spool, but I figured I wanted to add like a little bit of furry details, and this was a good way to do it, so I just tucked it into the belt. And then I'm wearing over top of that this red house coat. I wanted to wear some sort of like military jacket or something similar, but I didn't have anything like that in my closet, so I figured this red house coat gave kind of a regal vibe regardless, and then pairing it with this, it kind of reminded me of like a king's cloak. Then into this belt, I have tucked in this wooden sword that my dad made me when I was a child, and it just feels perfect for like a knight to have his sword on his belt. And then to kind of incorporate more of his color scheme, I wanted to wear these dark blue knee-high socks. They don't go as high as I wish they did, but they add like a little bit of that dark blue element. And then I'm wearing them with these red and black boots because they have the red inlay, and I wanted to just incorporate as much as like red, blue, green, jewel tones as much as I could. So yes, that's my look for Sir Didymus. I don't know if it really is like reading as him, but I tried my best, and I don't feel like myself, but I feel like it looks okay. So on to the next. Okay, so this is my look for the worm. You know, the one who's like, me, I'm just a worm, and like, do you want to come in and meet the missus? That guy. He's so freaking cute. And I was a little like unsure how to really dress for this character because it's like a worm, and I also don't have like a ton of blue in my wardrobe. But in terms of like the vibe, I always got very like posh and like proper and like that kind of thing. So I went with that kind of like preppy sort of aesthetic, and I did a lot of like blues and reds. So let me go ahead and talk you through the outfit. So I have my bluish wig on because the worm has blue hair. If I still had my hair dyed short and blue, I would do like 3 pigtails to be like extra worm, but it is what it is. It's like orange right now, so we can't really do that. This hat, I DIY'd it myself. Little beret with a spider web, and I figured like spiders, insects, worm, kind of somewhat related. We're trying. For the makeup, I did really red eyes because the worm has like super red eyes with like black pupils, so I kind of wanted to emulate that. And then just like a little bit of pinkish lipstick. For my earrings, I have these little teacup situation matching mismatch thing because of the whole like come and meet the missus. And then I also have this little bottle with these little mushrooms in it. This actually a subscriber gave me, and I also added a little blue kind of circular gem and a blue ring, as well as just a couple of bracelets for some extra decoration. Then their big piece of clothing is their red scarf, so I decided to go with this red and black striped one since I don't have a plain red scarf. This one has like a little skull on it, which I think is quite cute. And then this is a black cardigan that I DIY'd the little spider web onto so it matches the beret. And I'm wearing my Frankenstein cosplay dress that I DIY'd a couple of years ago as the base outfit because the colors kind of work, I guess. Okay, now for foot and leg wear, I'm wearing these kind of teal blue tights with these little fishnet socks and my creepers. I feel like this is kind of like a sweet academia sort of look that's like a little bit edgy, so it works on out for my wardrobe. So that's my look for the worm, and on to the next one. Okay, so this is my look for the kind of Goblin Kingdom. Honestly, all the characters in that scene just look so amazing, and I wanted to pay homage to how wonderful they are and basically just do something with lots of like grungy grays and browns and rusty tones and metals and leather and like that kind of thing and spikes. So that's what we went with here. Let me go ahead and walk you through the look. So I just have my hair up in a ponytail and these spiked goggles on because a couple of the goblins wear goggles. For makeup, I've done greeny brown eyeshadow with brown lipstick. And for earrings, I have these fake stretchers in, along with this little bottled mushroom that a subscriber gave me and that I turned into an earring. For jewelry, I have a hodgepodge of stuff. This found object necklace, this stone beaded necklace, this crystal one, this one that used to hold oil, and this long beaded one just to have like that super layered look, as well as having a bunch of rings on to be like all the little treasures that the goblins have found, you know? Then I have mismatched arm warmers. I think I dyed these both black. They used to both be green, but they work. This one's like kind of lace. This one's got fishnet bits on it. And this is a sweater thing that used to belong to my mom. I feel like it's very, very cool. It's got this wonderful pointy hood that's like super long. Like, hello. That is so, so wonderful. So it feels extra goblin-y when it's up on top. But I have layered over top of it this belt with all these different pockets. So we have space for all our like scavenging treasures. And then underneath that, this dress that I got when I used to work at Urban Outfitters. I've attached this little harnessy leg chain thing to the belt for a little bit of extra interest and buckle and, you know, stuff. And then I've layered a bunch of socks on and leg warmers. So this gray pair of socks, this gray pair of leg warmers, and this gray pair of leg warmers, just to give lots of texture and interesting, yeah, just shapes and coziness and grays and browns and all the things. So yeah, that's my look for a goblin in the Goblin Kingdom. I feel very, very fun in it. Very like grungy and cozy and goblin-y. So yes. Without further ado, on to the next. Okay, so hear me out. The end scene with the staircase, the MC Escher staircase inspired scene. Sorry, oh my god, my hat, hello. I wanted to do a look inspired by the scene that takes place in like the kind of MC Escher set. So this is my sort of staircase scene. I don't know if it makes any sense at all, but let me walk you through the concept of it. So obviously when I think of MC Escher, I think of like vintage art, so I want to add like the little vintage hat, but I also think of a lot of like geometric shapes and patterns. So I did try to do like very like geometric, almost like 60s inspired eye makeup, and then like the mismatched lips that are supposed to be kind of like a checker or like a staircase or like something of the sort. I also wanted to wear this black and white shirt that a subscriber very sweetly sent me. I figured black and white stripes kind of echoed back to like the staircase ridges, so that was my idea with that. I'm also wearing the crystal ball necklace again to kind of echo back to that point of the movie. And now let me scoot you down. So I've got this underbust corset on, a bunch of rings, and this big bangly bracelet. This I know is technically Beetlejuice, but it has black and white stripes, and I know there's a lot of like staffs in the movie, so I figured I'd incorporate this one here. And then I'm wearing this white skirt that I DIY'd for a Draculaura cosplay. It's very short, so of course I've got some tights underneath, and I wanted to go with this mismatched sort of Harlequin and stripes look to again kind of just incorporate as many geometric shapes and designs as I could. And then for shoes I've gone with my little black creepers. So I'm not really sure how I feel about this, if it works at all, if it feels like it fits. I don't know. Feels very modern compared to all the other looks that I've done for this, but I figured I'd include something like a little bit fun, a little bit unique and interesting, so hopefully you enjoyed it. And thank you again for watching. I really, really hope you had a wonderful time. This movie's so special to me, and I hope it is to you too. I hope you get inspiration to maybe rewatch it, or maybe do some of your own closet cosplays. Either way, have a wonderful rest of your day or night or whenever it happens to be, and I hope to catch you in the next one.